What's up, guys? Matt here, back at it again in CMS 2021. And if you remember, if you've been watching in series, last episode we bought this Panoz Esperante GTR-1, I believe is what it's called. Yes, GTR-1. And we also bought a Subaru. We decided to do the Subaru first and save this one for this episode. So here we have it. Our very, very dirty Panoz. Let's sit in it. And I had to make sure. I checked and looked it up. The family does pronounce it Panoz, so hopefully that's the right way to say it. Definitely some performance pedals down there. Otherwise, pretty basic interior. Not a lot to it. Obviously, it's quite filthy. So first things first, let's send it off to get a nice little car wash on it and see what color it is underneath. Yes, let's wash the very filthy GTR-1, and it is purple. Very, very purple. I don't hate it though. It's definitely got that color change vibe from the 90s and early 2000s that you would see. I think even Ford had a series of Mustang. The Mystic Mustang, that's what it was, yes. Got quite a blind spot back here. No rear window whatsoever. Interesting. All right, let's take this thing into the garage and start tearing it down. I'm excited for this one. I've never done this car. Yeah, it's definitely got that like Mystic paint thing going on. But I'm excited to get onto this one. See if we've even got any oil in this thing. Yeah, you can't really see much. There's just so much aerodynamic stuff going on the bottom. But let's put it over there. See if we can get the oil out. Go ahead, use equipment, and yes, just a little bit, and it was quite dark. It's interesting, just that little bit of the oil pan sticking down. All right, let's see. How do we get into this thing? How do get past all this? Oh, there we go. Oh yeah, it's definitely mid-engine. Wow. And definitely very crusty. Let's start by getting the drive shaft off. Yeah, there's a ton of stuck bolts on the front here at least. Get that taken care of and pull these fasteners out. Be able to get ready to pull this engine. Can we get to the starter from? Yes, we can. Very nice. Sometimes you have to go through the engine bay. Sometimes you can get it from beneath. Let's get the gearbox off of here. And might as well just grab the throwout bearing, the pressure plate. We'll pull that flywheel off as well. Get that clutch plate and then flywheel. I think we are ready to pull the engine. And there's not really a way to open it, so it looks like I have to remove the clamshell to get to the engine. This is very cool. Very different. Wow. Remove the engine cover. And exposes our engine. Let's go ahead and, can we get rid of all this other stuff? Maybe not. All right, let's just go ahead and pull it. Pull the engine out, and we got it out. Let's go put it on our engine stand. And on it goes. The stock engine is a V8 single overhead cam FME with 600 horsepower, 480 pound-feet of torque with a swap option of a V8 dual overhead cam supercharged. Or the AXK TRS. We could even throw a Coyote in it. That is certainly something to think about. One thing I think though is, but we've done so many of these cars where we've gone just crazy with the engines, like the V8 dual overhead cam supercharged. To that we get a drag rating of 999, and it makes the drag racing not near as much fun. 700 horsepower. That's where you get a lot of fun on the drag strip in this game. Until they add bracket racing, which I hope they will do one day. That's kind of the way, unfortunately, the drag racing is. So I'm kind of thinking with 600 base horsepower, and then we throw more performance parts at this engine, it could be right in that sweet spot of having some really fun races at the drag strip. Otherwise, you pretty much just end up racing the exact same car over and over and over again. But with that being said, let's go ahead and tear this one down. We'll get our engine head covers here. This looks all pretty familiar. Single overhead cam V8, nothing too crazy here. Let's actually start on the front. Let's get our belt tensioner off. Get all this front stuff taken off before we move on to the sides of the engine. Idler roller, water pump pulley. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of... This thing is in pretty rough shape considering the price tag that it had. Almost $500,000 in the shape that it's in, which is crazy. We get that harmonic balancer off. Idler roller, as well as our power steering pump. Stuck on real good. There it goes. I think we can grab our alternator right there. Indeed we can. And I'll pull this engine head cover off so we can expose our timing set. Can't remember if this has belts or chains. We're about to find out. Pull that head off. It does have chains, I can tell right now. Let's get this timing cover off of here. Several fasteners on this one. And a few stuck, as to be expected. And there we have our timing chains. Got to get our tensioners off of here. Both. Now the chains can come off, I believe. Yes, 1 and 2. We can jump over to the side here. Grab our ignition coils. There's only 2 on this side. Not even a fuel rail on this side either. And let's see, we got a couple of coils. We got all 4 coils on this side. How about that? Score. Get that coil out and we should be able to, yep, remove the intake manifold. There we go. Jump back over here. Let's go ahead and remove our cam gear there. And we have this kind of camshaft setup. It's been a while since I've done one of these. It's kind of nice because it all comes out together. Much like that. And then we can pull the camshaft. And we've got the spark plugs up in here. Very interesting design on this engine. It's been a long time since I've done one of these. Let's get this manifold off. Just like that. And then we can remove the engine head. Lots of fasteners in this engine. But that's to be understood and understandable. We'll get a look at our pistons now. And we've got, yeah, crusty carbon buildup all over those things. All right, that's that side done. On to the other side. And there we have it. Now we can flip our engine over. Just like so. Get our oil pan off of here. After we release these 2 stuck ones. Now we can see the business end under here. All the pistons. This is pretty dirty up under in here. A lot of rot, a lot of rust. Yeah, these rod caps. They're shot too. Let's go ahead and pull our pistons. 1, 2. Oh, we got to get that rod cap, don't we? Getting ahead of myself here. Through 2, 3, 4. You get the drill. Now we can remove our crankshaft bearing caps. This one's coming apart pretty quickly. I must say so myself. And the third one, out comes the crankshaft. And we can just take that block with us. Engine teardown complete. Back to the car. Let's get it up in the air and start pulling apart suspension, shall we? Go ahead and pull the rim off. It's in not bad shape, I gotta say. Considering the rest of the car. Brake caliper. It's mostly complete too, which is kind of nice. You get some of these and we're missing so many parts. Get off the brake disc. We can get our wheel hub cap. Expose our bearing, get that out of there. Wheel hub can come straight off. Cover, upper control arm can come right out. Now we can get our shock set out of the way. Once we unstick that stuck bolt, let's go ahead and do our front end sway bar end link. Grab our outer tie rod, our inner tie rod, lower control arm. Nice, not stuck, very nice. That'll give us our knuckle. And we can go ahead and pull these 2 little rubber bushings right there. And there, that is that side done. Onto the other side. Get those rubber bushings out. Now we can grab the front sway bar, steering rack, and this front cross member. Front suspension completely torn apart. Let's move to the rear, shall we? Stuck lug nut there. We've got our brake caliper. Interesting fuel tank here on this one. It's got one of these. Don't see those too often. Get our brake disc off of here. Get our half shaft out. We can get our wheel hub. Pretty simple rear end, I dig it. Knuckle cover. Our shock set, upper control arm. Much like the front. Just obviously without a steering rack or sway bar, interestingly. Unstick that bolt and the lower control arm can come off. That's that side done. On to the other. Let's jump up here. Do we have a fuel pump? I do not see one. Pull that tank. It is out. Everything mechanical is out. Let's start tearing down the body, shall we? See how many parts we have to this. We've got this rear clamshell. Obviously the doors. And what else do we have here? Anything? Windshield. Get that out of the way. Yeah, this thing has no rear window whatsoever. Let's get this, they call rear bumper, out of here. Car part 1. Just for the mods. There is no battery, so we don't have to worry about that. Jump over here and grab these fuses and relays. Get them out of the way. And that is removed. Before I forget, let's go ahead and move the welder over there. Straighten out. Wow, that's going to take 8,300 credits. Everything's going to be expensive on this car. Get that all straightened out and perfect. As well as clean the interior. We have this front bumper here. Other than that, I'm not seeing really anything else body-wise that we need to tear down. Oh yeah, we need to get this interior out of here. Not sit in it, get it out. And that's just essentially 2 seats and a steering wheel. Just like that. And I think that's it. We've torn everything down that we possibly can on our Panoz. Turn down these brake discs. We're not going to use them. We're probably going to convert to carbon ceramic, but we can sell them for a nice little profit just by fixing them up. We'll go ahead and separate our shock sets here, all 4 of them, as well as separate our wheels and tires. That gold is actually pretty cool. I dig it. And this would be the part of the video where I repair what I can and replace what I can't, and if I can get a performance part for something, I will do so. I'm not going to make you guys sit through all this. All right, got all the parts and pieces I needed. One thing I noticed that I forgot is this. If you just hit this just right here, they call it the little emblem and the little clip there, the front fender. So got that removed. Body is all the way torn down. Time to rebuild this engine. The block has been repaired. And yes, we're going with the stock, but with much more performance parts. So let's put in our crankshaft, and it goes. Now, each and every piston, performance, of course. We'll get all of 8 of these installed. Now it's time for our rod caps. There's 1, 2, and I'm not going to make you sit through all of them. And with this final one going on, we are ready for the crankshaft bearing cap. We only have 3 of these, so not too big of a deal. On it goes. And then after this, we should be ready for our oil pan. Bingo, there it is. 4 little fasteners for this. On it goes. And we are good to flip it over. Let's go ahead and throw on our oil filter while we're right here. All right, now let's flip this thing over and get to the business end of this build. As far as the engine goes, power steering pump, performance, indeed, on it goes. We can jump over here, water pump, why not? Let's build out the front as much as we can. While we're here, water pump pulley. 4 little bolts there, throw on our alternator, why not? Then I think from there, we do have to put our performance heads on to be able to add, because we got to do the timing stuff and all that to be able to put that timing cover back on. So let's build out this side of the engine, get the head in. This is a performance head along with a performance camshaft. Absolutely, along with our camshaft cap here and all the fasteners involved in this. And now we're ready to throw on our exhaust manifold. That's all shiny and pretty because it is once again performance. Again, anything I could buy performance I certainly did. Cam gear goes on there. We are ready for spark plugs, I believe. Indeed, we are. Performance as well. It'll be interesting to see what kind of horsepower we make out of this thing. If we were making 600 stock in this kind of car, that's already plenty to have some fun with. And it looks like we can't do much until we build out the other side and put the intake manifold on. So let's go ahead and build out the other side. Now we can put our air intake manifold on. Again, performance, of course. Let me throw on that cam gear before I forget, because I know it's sitting right here. There she goes, and throw that on. Perfect. Now we can do our timing chain. At least the first one. That one goes on. Does that mean we can throw the second one on? Indeed it does. That is on. Let's put on our timing chain tensioners, pre-tensioners, whatever you want to call them. Get both of those on. Now we can throw the timing cover on and all the little bolts that go along with it. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I truly appreciate you guys watching. It means the world to me. I don't know. I try to relay that in my videos. It really does. I mean, you could be watching any other video right now, but here you are, and I love each and every one of you for that very reason. And then we get our serpentine belt on, and our tensioner should complete the front. Now we can go on to putting the engine head covers on. Get this one, and then we're getting close. We'll get the coils, indeed, right here. And then after the coils, it should allow us to go ahead and throw on the performance fuel rail. Of course, these are performance coils. On it goes. Let's throw that performance fuel filter in there, and let's go ahead and build out this side the exact same way. From here, we can put that performance fuel rail on, and that will allow us to put on the performance throttle body. All pretty. I think that is it. That is done. That engine is definitely ready for the car. Let's go ahead, take it off the stand, and put it where it belongs. Throw it in the car just like that. And there it is, shoved way back there. This car's got to be a blast to drive with a mid-engine like that. Let's go ahead and send the cherry picker back out. And what do we want to start with here? Let's do under the hood stuff. Why not? Seems like a good place to start. We've already got the engine in there, right? So let's get our coolant reservoir, a radiator. We'll do, let's see, the other radiator on the other side. ECU type A, very expensive. I always mention the fact that that's very, very expensive. We should have a brake servo. There it is. Power master cylinder there. Let's go ahead and do all our fuses and relays. And there's the final one. We can put the cover on. As far as under the hood stuff, I believe we're good to go. Windshield washer reservoir. I thought I was forgetting something. Okay, we're good to go for suspension. Let's go ahead and do interior while it's down here. Interior, add, there we go. Front right seat, front left seat, and steering wheel. Didn't take us long, did it? Now it can go back up in the air. Suspension build out. Let's get our cross member in. Let's throw our steering rack on and our sway bar. There it is. Get that connected. Now we can throw our knuckle on. Inner tie rod, outer tie rod. On it goes. Let's do lower suspension arm. And we'll be ready to install our built out shock set. On it goes. We can do our end link. There we go. Upper suspension arm. All the wonderful rubber bushings. Looks like that's pretty much everything on the inside. Let's get our cover on here, as well as our hub. And let's get our bearing in there. And our hub cap to keep dust, dirt, debris, and water out of our... Actually, we want to take that off. Out of our bearing is what I was going to say. We want to put on our carbon ceramic. There we go. That's what we want. Now we put on brake pads. Brake caliper. On it goes. And I think we're good for wheels and tires, which I will get to that soon. So that's that side done. On to the other side. That side is complete. Time to move to the rear. Let's get this all built out. Let's go ahead and throw our fuel tank in here. And while we're up here, let's grab that and throw in our performance fuel pump. There it goes. Now let's move over here. Rear axle. Knuckle. Lower. Suspension arm. There we go. Looking great. Get our shock set installed. Upper. Pretty simple rear end, really. I like that. Not too complicated. And I like a car with, you know, a simple rear end and everything. I just prefer the way it drives. Like just the familiarity of it all. The old school kind of way of going about it. Rear drive axle. Brake disc, again, carbon ceramic for the rears. Why not? Brake pads. Caliper. On it goes. And that's it. That side is done. Let's jump to the other. That is all complete. Let's go ahead and throw our battery in while we're right here. It is in. Oh, where do we go to next? You can see when we jump out of it, the mod builder did put in a transaxle there. So that's where that is. Or I guess it wouldn't be a transaxle because we do have a transmission. But you know, a mod builder only has so much to work with. I understand. This is a mod, guys, by the way. For the wheels, I really like the wheels. Oh, I got to get this part of the body off of it, don't I, too? To match the other side. Yes, they are all off. It is all completely disassembled now. For the wheels, I'm thinking, I kind of liked the bronze that it had, but I'm thinking black. I think black on this car would look good. I still haven't decided the body color yet, but for some reason, I feel like with this car, black would look really good with these wheels. I just like this style of wheel, and I feel like black. Like, look at this. I just feel like that would look really good. Do we want to go gloss or do we want to go matte? Ooh, matte black. That goes hard. I'm feeling it. Let's go ahead and do it. From there, let's go ahead and install our wheels and tires onto slicks. We're going with slicks on this one because I feel like we're going to need it, especially in the rear. Go ahead and throw it on, see what it looks like. I dig it. Looks good to me. Let's bring it down and take a look. Yeah, I really like it. I dig it more than the gold, the bronze or the gold, for sure. I think it looks good. I still haven't decided what color I want to paint the car yet, but it actually does kind of fit well with this mystic purple or whatever we want to call it. That being said, let's start throwing some body parts on it. I found some things I liked, like the racing hood. I think it looks really good with those. Oh yeah, that looks really good. I tried out a few different headlights. I like this racing multi-headlight thing going on here. Really feeling that. Let's get this, what they call the front bumper on. That's just stock carried over from the one that came on it. Racing windshield. Front left door. And I kind of thought this looked goofy sticking out like that, but I found these ones, these racing ones. There we go. That just kind of cleans up the lines, if you ask me. Looks quite a bit better. Front right door. We'll do the racing window. And for this mirror, we'll do the same thing. We'll go with this more, it just cleans up the car so much more. Rear clamshell comes stock with this impressive wing here, but I like the spoiler here. That looks really, or vice versa, wing spoiler. These taillights, they kind of remind me of like something. I can't quite put my finger on it. Old Viper, but not really. I don't know, but it's reminding me of something. This rear bumper here is basically this diffuser, and then from here, car part is obviously the exhaust pipe sticking out. For license plate, I went with Arizona because why not? Who doesn't love Arizona? A favorite state of mine to visit. And I think we got to do our little side things here. I cannot forget about that again. And for this, I don't know what this is going to look like. We're both going to find out here. There was an option to do this racing side here, and okay. All right, we'll see how that looks after it's painted, because I'm not totally convinced yet. Let's go ahead and put the other side on. Yeah, it's not like it makes a huge difference. I think it just basically debadges the thing, which I'm down with. And actually, that flat black wheel with black doesn't look terrible. There's one tricky thing I found about this car, and it's to get the engine cover on, because it doesn't have a hood, right? So to get the engine cover on, you have to kind of get in a right position. Right there. Now we can put it on. Took quite a while to figure that out. Longer than I'm willing to admit. Don't want to forget this window here, the driver's side window. Now that we got all that done, let's go ahead and hook up our drive line. Get this back up in the air. We got to install all of that. Let's do that now. There we go. We got our access to it. Flywheel. Performance, of course. Same with the clutch and pressure plate. Get that all tightened down, and now we're good with the throw out bearing, and we can throw on the adjustable gearbox, which I feel like we're gonna need for this car. Jump over here, add the starter, on it goes. We can flip around, add our, there we go, drive shaft to hook everything up to those rear slicks. And I think we are good to go. Oh, look, I forgot the rubber bushings and the K member. It's always, seems like that always happens at one point or another. I've been good about it lately, but yeah, missed it this time. On they go. We should be good for fluids after this. And actually, this way it's a lot easier, because now we can just remove this front clamshell and then grab the engine cover from here to be able to jump in and do our fluids. We shall start with brake fluid, washer fluid, coolant, and engine oil. Looks beautiful on the dipstick. All right, that's all back together. I think we're good to go ahead and take it to alignment. And man, we're about to get this thing dynoed. All dialed in, and I gotta say, this thing, it looks cool, even though it's just like, it's a mess going on there. But if it looks this good as a mess, it's gonna look even better when we paint it. And that's what we're about to do. So there is no livery set to work with, which is fine. Now it's just a matter of figuring out what kind of color we want to do. And oh, matte chameleon. I've been thinking about a car that might be cool to use this on, and I think this might be it. It definitely needs something different. I don't know, this metallic deep blue. Maybe just a little brighter. Oh man, that goes hard. I love that. I mean, look at that. And you gotta think, we're working with tan interior. This, oof, looks good. I gotta say, I think that's it right there. Let's do it. Oh, yes. All right, let's send it to the dyno. 8.5 is the best I can do. I'm still hunting for the elusive full maxed out. I'm told it can be done, but I've also heard some cars can, some cars can't. Anyways, we're gonna apply that. That's the best I've been able to get, and it's time to dyno this car. Man, this thing looks good. I can't get enough of it. Okay, like I think I haven't started it yet. Let's see if it starts. Actually, start. It does start. That's good news. So 600 horsepower. Oh yeah. 600 horsepower base, 480 pound-feet of torque. That's plenty of fun already, and we just threw a whole bunch of performance stuff at it. So let's see what the survey says on our Panoz Esperante GTR-1. 999 horsepower, 757 pound-feet of torque. We gained 400 horsepower and almost 300 pound-feet of torque. I'll take it all day long. Once again, we get a drag rating of 999. So if we were to done the supercharged engine, we would have ended up with the same drag rating. You see what I mean? So that's my only complaint. If we could get bracket racing in the drag, oh man, this car is good looking. That would just, I'm gonna keep complaining about that for all my days, it seems like, right? Speaking of, let's go drag racing. Actually, before that, let's have some fun on the speed track. See what we can do as far as getting up to speed and being able to stop. Drive. Here we go. And here we go. So yeah, pretty much it looks like what that fender thing was. Pretty much just debadges the car. which I think it looks good. Works for me. All right, let's see what we can do as far as get up to speed and stop. Oh man, it thing is torquey and fast. It's just bouncing off the limiter at like 7.6, it looks like, something like that. We're passing 200 miles an hour already. This is insane. And we're just gonna bounce it off the limiter. We're doing 222, 223. I think we need to go adjust this, this gearbox a little bit. See if we can definitely squeeze some more out of that, because yeah, it did that without even trying. Back to the garage. Gear ratios and final gear, drive gear adjusted. Let's see what we can do now. Hopefully we won't spend so much time bouncing off the limiter at top speed. We've just passed 150, and as I say that, we're passing right past 200. 220, and that's that longer tooth gear, which I think will help us get up to 240. Then I'm gonna get on the brakes there. We had a little bit more room. I wonder if we can get to 250 out of this thing and still be able to stop. I found you got to be pretty light on the throttle, otherwise she just steps right out. And why wouldn't she? I mean, that's a lot of power and especially torque to be making. Here we go. Let's see if we can get up to 250 and still be able to stop before the end of the runway. We are at just about 200. There we go, past 200. 25, 20, 30, 2, 3. Oh, come on. Oh, she's getting loose. She's getting loose, and we lost her. You know I gotta keep trying. Let's try it on the way back. Here we go. No. She just gets so light. Here we go. Let's just follow the center line, call it good, and let's go. Well, it's safe to say I was not able to achieve 250 and stop again. It just gets to a point where it's right around 240, somewhere in there. It just leaves planet Earth. It leaves the track and it's gone. Oh well, let's go drag racing. Here we are, King of the Sands, quarter mile, A class, except we're going to go up against a Hot Wheels Bone Shaker with a drag rating of 999. And there it is. And some people said they wanted to see some multiple views from drag racing. I will do that, but for now we'll start with the regular interior view. And here we go. Oh man, lots of wheel spin, especially having slicks, but we are walking that Bone Shaker like not a problem at all. My goodness, this thing is fast at 9.3. At 173 to his 9.5 at 163. Okay, yeah, this thing is quick, even with my horrible reaction time of a 0.13. We are going up against a Ferrari 250 GT Berlinetta. Short wheelbase, I'm guessing, is what SWB means. Also a drag rating of 999. Let's see how we do. And there it is. And I'll jump out. And the only thing is with the external cam, you can't really look over into the other lane, which is kind of cool to do from the interior view. But anyways, here we go. Let's get to business. This thing just squeals the tires right off the line. Yeah, I have no idea where he is, which... Oh, he got us. Oh, man. I ran a 9.5. I could have done better. I ran a 9.3 in the last one, I think. We just got eliminated, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to keep trying because I know I can do better. The Berlinetta ended up winning the finals anyway. Okay, so that was a fast car. Let's try again. This time we are up against another, probably the same car. Yep, 999 SWB Berlinetta. Let's see if we can get him this time. There he is. Yeah, it looks like the same car to me. There he is over there. Let's try this again. Oh yeah, we got him this time. I think starting in second is helping me out. Pretty much jumping. Oh no, did he get us right at the end? 9.4. He got us right at the end, just by that much. He had a really good reaction time too. All right, let's try again. Third time's a charm. Let's see how this goes. And this, guys, is exactly what I was talking about when we're talking about, okay, we're going up against a unicorn here. Nice. That's all-wheel drive to my rear-wheel drive. But this is what I was talking about here. Going up against 999 drag rating cars. It's not the same as going against lower tier cars with a lower tier car yourself. If you're running a 999 drag rating, it's just ridiculous. And here we go. And it kind of takes the fun away. Look at that. He's got all-wheel drive and he's gone. And we're barely being able to catch him. Here we go again. We're going to try this. We are going up against Unicorn again for our first race with a 999. I'm going to try starting in second gear, see if that helps us out at all. There's the Unicorn over there. Let's go ahead and shift to second and let's try this. Yeah, really didn't seem to make a whole lot of difference. It just doesn't grip until later. It's even with slicks. I mean, these are full-on slicks. So, yeah, I might complain about the whole 999 drag rating continues. We did our best. We had fun. We tried. Just for fun, let's do a 1 mile drag. I think this car would be fitting for that. We'll be up against the Bone Shaker again at 999. I believe we beat that the first time, so maybe we'll have a better shot at doing this. I think I'm still going to start in second, maybe possibly third. It just spins the tires so much right off the line. That yeah, I think this will help us. Let's just for fun start in third and do this. Yeah, by the time it grabs, it kind of lugs down, but yeah, this car is definitely more built for the long run. And we'll see if the car gets crazy. It's starting to drift a little bit to the left, and I think we're good there. So he wasn't far behind, 14 flat to a 14.4. He had a much better reaction time. Let's see how far we can get going this full 1 mile run with this. This is kind of fun, actually. And we will be going up against a Unicorn again. This is another part of my complaints. We're just going up against the exact same cars. This time we're going up against a Ford RS200, also drag rating of 999. But we'll see, maybe this is a really good half-mile car. I'm going to attempt to start in second. There we go. We are in second and ready to go. And he's off. He's got all-wheel drive, but we've got sheer power. And there he goes. And we got him. A quarter mile, we ran a 9.1. That's amazing. That's fantastic. He ran a 9 flat to our 13.8 for the half. Next race, we are up against a Unicorn. I mean, I love the Unicorn, but when you're in the 999 rating, it's like all you race almost, it seems like. Beautiful car, though. Ken Block, RIP. Miss you. Second gear. Let's do it. Again, he's got all-wheel drive, but we've got crazy amounts of power. And I think he's going to get us, and the car is getting squirrely. Yeah, we just don't have it. Just don't have it. I mean, that's like, what, 1,400 horsepower all-wheel drive to our rear-wheel drive. 900 and something horsepower, or pretty much 1,000 horsepower. So yeah, just a matter of time. This is why bracket racing would be so good. If you're listening, Red Dot Games, please bracket racing. We could have a ton of fun with that. I don't know who's calling the shots in the car mechanics simulator, Playway or Red Dot. Either way, guys, this car is insane. It's time to figure out what kind of money we're going to make out of it. Such a beautiful car. Tempted to keep it, but my parking slots are pretty much full. Like if I was to keep this one, I would have none available, and that would kind of stink if I found something cool in a barn and wanted to save it for something. So we've got to kick this one down the road, and I think we're gonna make a good payday on it. Everything's 100%. Yeah, we're running factory power with 600. Yeah, it's making a lot more now. Everything's 100%. We're looking good. The buy price was $442,000. The sell value is $1.4 million with a profit of $964,011. We gotta take that. We gotta take that. Now we sell off our inventory of parts for this car, which is another $24,000, and we've got almost $3.5 million. We can finally get into some of like the Ferrari Burley and Nettas and stuff like that. Guys, if you made it this far into the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. It truly helps my videos out. It means the world to me. You guys mean the world to me. I love you so much for watching. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I need to say it more often. I feel like you know it. I feel like you can feel it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I truly, truly appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one.